I think my experience that I had a number of years on the Judiciary Committee in the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate. I started as a county prosecuting attorney. I think it makes a big difference if the Attorney General has some background in law enforcement, and I do as a former county prosecuting attorney. We have, I think, a great record of protecting Ohio families. We have shaped up the state crime lab. 125 days it took on an average to get DNA evidence back. Today we've reduced that to 22 days in spite of the fact that our workload has gone up four times. So it's really been phenomenal. The rape kits that some of our listeners may have heard about, when I became Attorney General, I found there were thousands of old rape kits. A rape kit is what is prepared when a woman is victimized and is raped, and she goes to the hospital and she is taken care of, and at the same time a rape kit evidence is gathered from her so we can try to find the assailant. When I became Attorney General, there were many rape kits that were not at our crime lab. They were just sitting at police departments around the state. Cleveland, for example, had 4,000 rape kits that had never been tested. We have now tested, I said, bring these into us, and really insisted that they be brought in. I don't have any authority to make them come in, but we wrote letters, and I talked a lot about it in the media, and they started coming in. And it's been amazing. We're getting hits on our national DNA database on 1 out of every 3 that we test. So we've had well over 1,000 where we get hits, and that means we're going back to police departments around the state and saying to them, hey, this case that's 10 years old, 5 years old, 15 years old, you've never been able to solve, we've got your rapist. We know who it is. We got a hit in the database. We also have set up a whole new unit at BCI where we investigate and go after sexual predators. And it's been very, very successful working with local law enforcement.
I'd say a couple. One is I have a very different background than the current Attorney General. He's coming from Washington, D.C. He's sort of used to a sort of 30,000-foot view of the world. And I think in the last couple of years, I think Ohio is much less safe because it's been one nonstop attack after another on local government. You know, Senate Bill 5 attacked police officers and first responders' livelihoods. Local government cuts have really hurt local law enforcement. As I said, my view of this job is we shouldn't be cutting local to make the state government bigger. If we want to really have a safe community, we should have strong local law enforcement, police, court systems, prosecutors, and the Attorney General should actually be working with them. Now, why is that my perspective? Because I was at the local level, fighting crime, fixing a court system and a jail that wasn't working when I was on City Council, County Commission. So I have much more of a on-the-ground, in the trenches experience about how you really make communities safe that I think the current Attorney General, if you look at the last 3 years, he has said nothing as these local cuts have happened. He said nothing except to be somewhat supportive of Senate Bill 5. And so I think you want an Attorney General who actually supports local law enforcement, supports first responders. And if you don't have that, frankly, I don't think you have a very good Attorney General. Now, the other thing I'd say is, unlike the current Attorney General, I also have actually real private sector experience. And right now, if you look at the job of Attorney General, it has to deal with public safety. But as I said earlier, there's a lot the Attorney General can do to help create jobs, to help create a working marketplace, to help us compete in this new, very competitive economy. But you're only going to do that role if you actually yourself have real private sector experience. And I've done, for years, in addition to being on City Council and County Commission, I worked in the private sector side of law. I've worked with businesses. I myself have a small business that I started. I've been on the board of small businesses. So you want an Attorney General who knows how to deal with public safety, but also can use this job to fight for consumers and to fight to compete for good jobs.